Hello and welcome to episode 205 of the Juicebox Podcast. Today's episode is short and sweet, under 20 minutes, and I think you're going to love it. It's with Chris Pierce from Costco. I asked Chris to come on the show today to talk about the Dexcom G6 purchase program that Costco is now running. Wait till you hear the prices for people who are uninsured or underinsured. They're insane. Absolutely crazy. Also, you might be hearing this. Longtime listeners might think, hey, Scott sounds extra super smooth. That's because I have a brand new microphone, which is amazing. But that also means that for a little while, you might be hearing interviews that sound like they're from one mic, while the ads and the bumpers on either side of the show are going to sound like this. Trust me, it's only going to be for about a dozen episodes, and then it'll be all gone. I want to thank our sponsors, Omnipod, Dexcom, Dancing for Diabetes, and Realgood Foods. About midway in the show, I'm going to do all of the ads at once in a 2-minute chunk. It's a lot of quick talking. I hope I can do it. Please remember that nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise, and to always consult a physician before making changes to your medical plan. I've seen a ton of confusion in the diabetes community about this Costco program, so I'm going to put a link in the show notes of this episode. So if you see people talking about it and they seem confused, just share that link, and it'll take them right back to juiceboxpodcast.com, where they'll be able to listen to this brief interview with Chris Pierce from Costco. Speaking of which, listen to a little more music, and then we'll get to Chris.
This is Chris Pierce, the senior executive in charge of a division at Costco we call Costco Health Solutions. In that division, it includes a program that we call the Costco Member Prescription Program. And in that, we concentrate our efforts on improving the affordability of medication.
Costco is a nationwide chain, or is it just in the Americas? Where are you guys at?
We have operations in a dozen different countries. This particular program and the interest around this offering is specific to the United States.
This is for the United States only. Okay, that's important to get out of the way early. There are people who use Dexcom CGMs all over the world, but they're not unaccustomed to being second in these endeavors.
Well, we would like to fix it for them too, and as we learn a little bit more about the program, hopefully it'll be easier for everybody to understand. But at the moment, just limited to the U.S.
Okay, and the program we're talking about, of course, is the ability to buy a Dexcom, and it's just the G6. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, the Dexcom G6 continuous glucose monitor is available at Costco, and I know that's been sort of. Yeah, you might have been seeing it on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, but it always seems a little confusing to everyone. So I thought I would have Chris on and he could explain quickly and succinctly what it's about. So can you just first kind of give me an overview of the program?
The concept of the program is we know there are a large number of individuals who are either uninsured or underinsured. And so the goal of this program is to bring some of the negotiation power that's typically held with insurance companies directly to members. And so in this particular case, we're working hard with a number of manufacturers, one including Dexcom, to bring their discounting, again, directly back to the patient. So it results in some pretty substantial reductions in price.
Okay. So not to cut my listenership, but if you've got insurance, this isn't for you. Is that correct?
That's correct. The requirement would be, unless your insurance doesn't cover this item, we do know about, let's say, 40 to 50% of CGMs are not necessarily available to individuals who have insurance, either because there's other requirements to get access to the product or just not available through a particular PBM or insurance company. And so I understand there would be a large number of your listeners who might appreciate the value.
And is that the definition of underinsured, or are we talking about three segments? Uninsured, I understand. Is underinsured the idea that you have insurance but it doesn't cover Dexcom?
Correct.
Okay. See, I'm learning things.
There are lots of reasons why you would potentially be underinsured.
Okay.
But for this particular program and for this particular product, it is as easily defined as you don't have coverage for that item. As you think about other items, products like Viagra or something, those are routinely not covered by insurance programs, and we have savings on those types of products too.
Wow. So I can keep my blood sugar stable and my relationship in check all at Costco, you're saying, if I'm underinsured or uninsured. I hear what you're getting at. Okay. Can I get a cheap hot dog too?
Yes, we've been able to hold a hot dog at fairly good value for an extended period of time. Hopefully you've had a chance to try one.
I actually have. Okay. So that's the kind of high level overview of what we're talking about. Now I want to give people just a real like nuts and bolts idea of what it is they need to do to make this happen. I'm going to say obviously, but I need a prescription. That's the first thing.
Correct.
Now, are you the type of pharmacy, I've never done my pharmacy business with Costco before. Can I have my doctor send the prescription to you and you fill it, or do I have to walk in with it in paper, or does it not matter?
It doesn't matter. You can, if you have a paper prescription, you can bring it in. Most of our prescriptions are received electronically today. So doctors can beam them across, if you will. Or if you are already shopping at Costco and just learning about this particular opportunity and you think it's a good fit, then our pharmacists can reach out to physicians and obtain a prescription if that is so desired as well.
Okay, so I'm in Costco. I'm getting 15 pounds of potatoes. And I think to myself, I heard about this on the podcast about Dexcom. I didn't get it straight. If I walk over to the pharmacy counter and just say, look, this is my doctor's information. This is my information. Can you please get the script here? They can actually handle it from the pharmacy.
Right.
That's excellent. Okay. Now, I want to veer away for just a second to understand the kind of larger overview, because in my view, this is a really important first step in healthcare for people. Because basically what you guys are, and if I'm wrong, you'll stop me. I guess what happens is that people make medical devices or medication, and then they have to get it to you somehow. And there's a in-between man, a pharmacy benefits manager in between. But is that not in play here with the relationship you have with Dexcom? Is it just you and Dexcom in the picture?
Yeah, we streamline that middleman. There's a lot of inefficiency in those arrangements, and so in a true to form Costco model, we look to go direct, and by doing so, you don't incur those other expenses that happen in those other when you have those other parties involved.
And that's leading us to a fairly significant savings with Dexcom. So I kind of want to go over the pricing. Realgood Foods is real food you can feel good about eating. They have poppers now with more filling and more flavor. They are so very tender. Cauliflower crust pizza that my mom absolutely loves. How about the OG chicken crust pizza? 4 grams of carbs, 25 grams of protein. You know you love it. Here's the best part. When you go to realgoodfoods.com and use the promo code JUICEBOX, you will save 10% on your entire order. And how about Real Good Foods has free 2-day shipping? Once that food arrives, you're going to need to give yourself some insulin. And for that, you're going to want an Omnipod tubeless insulin pump. Go to myomnipod.com/juicebox. There, you will be able to get a free, no obligation demo of the Omnipod. Do it today. That's free and it has no obligation. Really, it's not going to get much better than that. Unless, of course, you can see your blood sugar before you make decisions about those boluses and basal rates. And you know how you're going to do that? With the Dexcom G6 continuous glucose monitor. Not only does the Dexcom show you where your blood sugar is, what direction it's going, and how fast it's going, but others can see it too with their Dexcom follow and share features for Android and Apple. Once you're all done, you sit down in your house, your belly is full, your blood sugar is stable, you're pleased with yourself, and you think, I want to do something good in the world. So you go to dancingfordiabetes.com and you learn about the good works that they're doing with children who live with type 1 diabetes. And they do it all through dance. And I did this in less than 2 minutes. You can go to juiceboxpodcast.com, where the links in your show notes to get links to everything I've just spoken about here today. The things you want are within reach, and you deserve them. Go get them. The transmitter, for everybody who wears it or is thinking of wearing it, is the device that there's two things you wear on your body. There's a sensor that goes on your body, and then the transmitter clips into the sensor. But the transmitter is the thing I think of as being one of the big expenses. So how much are the transmitters through your program?
Transmitters are $26.90.
There's a lot of quiet over here because I passed out. Hold on a second, Chris. Okay, so I'm sorry, one more time. $26 and what?
And 90 cents. Yeah.
$26.90 for a transmitter. I'm excited. Everyone knows you can use an Android or an iPhone to use your Dexcom G6, but if you don't, you might need a receiver, and the receiver cost?
$35.97.
I should have my calculator out here because I don't think we're at $100 yet. Okay, and then the sensors, how many in a pack?
We sell them in a 3-pack for $318.29.
$318. So a 3-pack is a month. So, okay, so I'm sorry, give me that last number again for the sensors.
$318.29.
$318.29. Okay, so basically, if I'm underinsured, uninsured, out of pocket, I gotta hit my transmitters, which last 3 months. So I need a transmitter every 3 months, and I need sensors at $318 a month. That seems, well, I'll tell you what, it seems very reasonable to me, and it's a vast improvement for a lot of people. I have insurance. To me, that sounds like a lot. I know what I pay every month, and it's not close to that. But if I didn't have it, the cash price, do you have an idea of how much people are saving by not buying directly from Dexcom?
Yeah, we've surveyed the market a little bit to get some sense of the pricing that's out there. Obviously, everybody's arrangement is different, but there are hundreds of dollars of savings on an item basis, an individual item basis. So we think they're quite substantial, and we would hope that the individuals who want to use it would see it the same way as compared to what they're paying today.
You would think. And so let me ask you this question, and maybe you don't have the answer because I'm asking you to put yourself in the minds of the other people, the businesses that you do business with. If I'm them, you're important in this piece because you have distribution, right? Because you have a pharmacy set up already, because you're brick and mortar, you're out there. So it's worth them to sell a little less because they expand their reach and their ability to sell things cheaper. Am I understanding that correctly? Like I'm wondering for people who are hearing that and thinking, well, why can't I just buy it for Dexcom at that price? Like there's got to be a reason.
Yeah. It's difficult to comment on exactly why other people run different business models and have different pricing, but I can tell you that what we do at Costco, whether it's with a Dexcom product or a $1.50 hot dog like you joked about earlier, or any of the other items we sell, we just do the same thing, right? We look to find the value in the process,
right.
Look to take some of the efficiencies out, and provide the best value that we can for our members. So, you do have to be a member of Costco to receive this discount and participate in this program. But we think with the value that's provided here, it's another great example of a way to get good value out of your membership.
Yeah, listen. Can I tell you something? Well, let me say something nice here for a second. I'm a Costco member. It's funny the things you don't think about. I go into Costco and I buy a giant thing of paper towels, and they are as nice as any brand name paper towel that I've kind of ever used or seen. And there's a significant savings. Now, there are some things in there where I look at it and I go, nah, that doesn't save me enough, or I don't want 15 pounds of potatoes just to save money. But there's a ton of stuff in there that weekly we go in and buy. So I could be a member, already save money on other things, and have this benefit from Dexcom and whatever else you guys are doing. And that is the last thing that I wanted to ask you about before I let you go. And you may or may not know this, but is this the beginning of something? Like, are we going to see more of this from you guys? And is there any plans that you can speak about? Am I going to be able to get my insulin pump supplies from you, or test it, or anything like that?
Yeah, we continue to work with manufacturers in a number of different categories. And so if you were to go on to Costco.com and look for CMPP, the name of the program, you'd see a collection of products. We joked a little bit about Viagra, but there are a pretty broad collection of different manufacturers who see the value in the efficiency of what we're trying to do here. And so we're optimistic that we'll be able to continue to do this in a number of additional areas. And if you or your listeners have some particular area for which you'd like us to try to go take a look, we'd be happy to do so.
Okay. I appreciate it. So they can reach out to you through the website if they have an idea?
Sure. Yeah.
There you go. So if you want Costco to carry something, bug them about it. Chris is looking forward to your emails. You're not busy at all, right, Chris? You would just love to hear from everybody.
No, but that's what we do here, right? We listen to our members, or we try to listen to our members. We don't always get it right, but we do work hard at it, and we take the responsibility seriously. So if there is an area that we think really needs some attention, similar to what we could do here with Dexcom, then we'd love to be able to go and talk to some of those manufacturers about other supplies or tools or devices or something.
That's excellent. I told you I wouldn't keep you long, and I think I'm going to reach my promise by being just under 15 minutes. I genuinely appreciate you doing this to create clarity in the diabetes community, where I think there's been a lot of confusion for people. And so just to go over it one more time, I'm uninsured or I'm underinsured, which means my insurance doesn't cover Dexcom. I can have my prescription sent electronically. I can bring it in by paper. I can go into a Costco and ask the pharmacist to get the prescription from my doctor for me. And then I can get Dexcom receivers, transmitters, and sensors at a discounted price. Did I get that right, Chris?
Yes, well said.
Oh, look at me, huh? Look at me. I could work there, Chris. I'm not looking for a job, though. Don't try to poach me. So I can hear in your voice you're not looking for me to work at Costco. I appreciate that. I want to thank the sponsors, Omnipod, Dexcom, Realgood Foods, and Dancing for Diabetes. You can go to myomnipod.com/juicebox. You can go to dexcom.com/juicebox. When you go to realgoodfoods.com and make your purchase using coupon code JUICEBOX, you'll save 10% on your order. And of course, Dancing for Diabetes is the organization that helps children living with type 1 diabetes through dance. You can check out all the sponsors and me on Facebook and Instagram, or use the links that have been provided for you now verbally. But if you can't remember them, it's okay. They're in the show notes, and they're at juiceboxpodcast.com. I want to thank Costco for sending Chris on the show and helping to explain the new Dexcom G6 program. I hope you found the information very useful. If you do, please share it with a friend or someone who you think can benefit. And I actually took Chris's advice and I went to Costco.com and checked out their pharmacy offerings. They have a wide array of things that you may want or need, including medications for your pets. So if you're looking for lower cost stuff, if you don't have insurance and you're hoping to find better prices, if you just want to get your prescriptions filled at Costco, I'd check it out. It's Costco.com.